Hi, Jonathan Greenard. It's good to talk to you again. How are you?
Man, I'm glad to be back. Feeling really good, obviously. Good dub on Sunday, but glad to be here with you guys again every morning.
So we were just talking about how game shows make you smarter, Jonathan, and you come off as a smart guy. Do you watch game shows? Do you like Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy?
Yeah, I was that old young kid that was still watching, the Wheel of Fortune, The Price is Right. I still watch Family Feud to this day. Me and my family, we're still trying to see how we're going to get on there one day eventually. But yeah, definitely, we love game shows.
See, Marnie, it's not just old people. Jonathan Greenard's young and rich and cool, and he watches Family Feud.
27.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You
I'm
can do
proven
it.
wrong. If the Nard Dog watches, I'll watch.
Jonathan, the word that your coach used for you on Sunday was disruptive, right? Forget the box score for a second. As a casual defensive mind, I don't know defensive football. I just, try to figure out what I'm watching. You seem to be everywhere, and it seemed to be a big thing for your coach that you were all over the field Sunday in New York.
Yeah, it was new. Obviously, just a new system and new style of play. And actually seeing it, in game. You get reps in practice, but never truly understand how teams are going to attack you. But yeah, I just tried to do my job. Honestly, obviously I didn't show up in the box score as much or if at all. But I just did my job, and at times when you do your job, other people can do their jobs, and it can lead to success for others. Like as you're seeing, Gink and everybody else just did their job across the board everywhere. So. I'd rather be in that category than the person who didn't do his job, and then let up something else happen. And obviously, what that leads to. But yeah.
And picking up on that point, you were all over the field, and it never looked like your motor slowed down. In fact, I think Coach talked about his entire team seeming to be in good shape. You guys must have worked really hard in the offseason and in camp to make sure that you were physically ready to play your first game.
100%. I think, for me, it was my first time not, being in the preseason. So it was kind of a little bit of a wind shocker, obviously, when you get to those multiple drives and longer drives for myself. But everybody else, even in general, from the offensive standpoint, to sustain a 99-yard drive, that's incredibly taxing on the legs, obviously, for guys who didn't play in preseason. But on the defensive side, from the first play, I feel like we were flying around and we're able to maintain it throughout the whole entire game. And I think that's a true, like you said, a tribute to how, we prepared coming up into this season. And some days we didn't get as many reps in practice. Guys are still getting the extra cardio in just to make sure that we're all ready whenever that time is come, just like it came on Sunday.
Jonathan, the secondary played well. How much did that add into the pressure the defense could get?
Oh, 100%. When those guys are locking stuff down like they've been doing pretty much all camp, and seeing it now, it's no surprise that it actually is a great feeling as a D lineman, knowing that, the quarterback might have to hitch the ball a couple of times, kind of like he did on Sunday, because he's going to think that first read is there. But our guys in the back seven, it's amazing. You got 4-4 back there who's a vet, knowing how to play ball, understanding how teams are going to attack him. You got Murph back there. You got Gilly back there. He's now knowing what's up. And then obviously you got Hitman back there just directing the whole show. And then Beasley, I feel like that our secondary, their communication, their IQ level is so high, just from a level of just understanding route concepts and how teams want to attack us, to where we don't have to worry about that up in the front end. Once they handle that, then we can really pin our ears back and go and get the quarterback.
And Jonathan, it was a really dominant performance on Sunday, and I'm wondering, because it was the first game and you have an idea of what to expect, but you really don't know, to have been able to execute the game plan and hold the Giants to 6 points as a defense collectively. How satisfying was it to have that performance in game one?
It was good, obviously, because we got the dub. But everybody knows on the defensive side of the ball that they shouldn't have had any points, if we're going to just be completely honest. Obviously, it was a quick turnaround with CJ and the fumble, but obviously that was a perfect hit on the ball. It's like the best hit you can make for a guy to fumble like that. So quick turn of events, and obviously we had to go out there and pretty much don't let them in. But you take that, and then obviously the other 3 points that they got off of a couple miscues on our end. I feel like we definitely should have shut those guys out. So that's the standard that we set ourselves to in the defense, on the defensive side. And everybody in the locker room, even going into halftime, we were just all like, man, they shouldn't even have those points. But I think that's just, like I said, another tribute to how we all hold ourselves accountable to a standard once we put it on tape. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to trying to do that every week is the least amount of points given up as possible, if any at all.
Jonathan, the stunning defensive moment was Van Ginkel's interception. It happened so quickly, and it looks like, well, he just jumped up and grabbed the ball. What goes into that in terms of
how he practices, how you as a defense practice, and because it looked like he was taking some cues to get ready to make that play.
Yeah, Gink, as we said and I said before, I mean, Gink has made that play before. He's made it obviously in game, and he's even done it in practice before here so far. So Gink is an intelligent player, and it's a smart player, and I think that's the best thing about this defense is that we're kind of always talking about like what type of plays teams would run against us or things we've seen in the past. And him being with Flo in the past, he understands how teams have to attack him. I mean, there's so much things that we take away from offenses that, there's only certain things left to do. So in that play, you can literally see him looking over and realizing, hey, there's 4 guys outside of me, and there's nobody in the backfield. The guy's motioning in, trying to get to where that bunch is so where he can get that screen, and Gink can just see him inching out every single second like, all right, there's no way he's going to truly throw this. And as we've seen, he makes that play, and I think Gink knew that in the whole world, well, the whole defensive side on our end, we already knew what play was coming. For him to execute that, which is a very difficult play to still make, obviously, because the quarterback's literally throwing a bullet as fast as he can with you being 5 yards away, and he just snags it out the air and just takes it in the end zone. I mean, that was – I've never seen it in person happen for him. I've seen him obviously on TV before, but for him to do that was great for him. Obviously, him coming off of that injury he had last season, he had a lot of mental struggles. Obviously, through the injury going into camp, just making sure that his foot would be back the same. And we all just stood behind him and just make sure that, look, man, you're gonna be that person that we all once know making plays once before. So he's been just grinding every single day, and it just shows how when you continue to work like that, you get to reap the benefits.
So, Jonathan, your job is to make Daniel Jones's life a living hell, and obviously you guys did that on Sunday. But man, the Giants fans turned on him like midway through the first quarter, and they're raining down boos. And then every time you guys sent him packing, the boos came down harder and harder. Give me the percentage of your mind that is like thrilled as a professional that you're making it so difficult, but the percentage of you that just as a human, you're like, man, we're making this guy's day just awful on so many levels.
Yeah, it was literally a combination of all that. Me, I've been in Houston the past 4 years where I've been a part of that. I've been a part of those boos when you're walking on the field and your offense doesn't make anything happen, and they're just, you would think it's an away game at this point. But at that time, how we were attacking him and understanding like where he's at in his career based on obviously the scheme that he has, whatever the contract things going on. So we understand he's dealing with a lot. And if we could add another aspect of, pressure onto the guy to make him speed up his reads a little bit more, make sure that he's not going to get confident and comfortable back in the pocket. Man, it was a great feeling to see it on the first couple drives. And then obviously, like you said, man, when we heard the boos weren't raining in, we're like, okay, now we're good on our side. But when it got really loud to where it was as loud as it would be on a third down should be, and when they're on defense, it was kind of bad. We kind of started to feel a little bit bad for him as we're still just completely just taking away everything that he wants to do. So, hey, look, it's good to be on the other side of it, and it's our job to not be on that side of it, when we're not doing our job. So we're always going to preach to do our job so we don't get in that situation.
How do you think rookie Dallas Turner played on Sunday?
Dallas did his job, man. I think when you got a guy, and I think that's another thing that nothing was flashy about what we did on Sunday as far as the defensive line standpoint to get to the quarterback. We just kept it simple, took what they gave us. In Dallas, we all talked about the game plan all week. And as you see, Dallas came in, he ran the exact same thing that we all talked about during the week. Just take it up a little bit more. Daniel Jones is going to step up. We're going to have a play to where we make him step up, and he's going to be right there. And him taking that from the film, because he did it earlier during the week, and he shortened his steps a little bit, and it didn't look as natural as it did in the game, like he was actually truly going to rush before he wraps underneath. Just a little small pointers like that. A lot of guys will miss that little fine detail, and that's the difference between getting a pressure or not getting there at all and getting a sack. And he took that and went right to the field. And as we see, the kid's future is so bright. If he can start getting easy ones like that and steal them up, and then obviously when it's time to really pin our ears back, he's now putting pressure on the quarterback in a way where, you got to play on his side and his terms. Man, he's a force to be reckoned with. So glad that he got his first one, and I'm super excited so he can take this to the next level.
Again, we're talking to Jonathan Greenard. Jonathan, what is your anticipation level to play your first regular season home game at U.S. Bank against an elite San Francisco 49er team? And how much can that crowd, we always hear about the crowd can make a difference for the defense in particular when you're playing that the level of loud audio that goes through, bounces through that stadium.
Man, I'm excited. I'm actually, more anxious just to be in there because, I haven't had that home field advantage in a while. And, I was there during the preseason, and obviously that's just a little glimpse of what it is. And even then I said, man, I can just only imagine what this place would be like during a regular season game. And obviously to open up against a team like San Fran, who is one of the best in the league, obviously you just seen them play last night. It's going to be a true battle. And I think we're going to need all the people and all the advantage we can, on that side to make it difficult for those guys. So now we're really flying off the ball, and they don't know where they're at. They can't hear cadences, but we've talked about it too on our side, obviously from a communication standpoint. And that's another thing I have to adjust to is just how loud that place can be when we still have to give our checks and still have to get the calls in. So we're going to be dialed in. We have to be locked in. As much as we're going to use that to our advantage, we have to be dialed in and understand that, hey, listen, we still got to execute the game plan and make plays. And they're not the only ones that have to deal with the crowd noise over there on the offensive side. So truly excited. I can't wait to see the fans and the supporters out there just completely just going crazy. And we're going to definitely try to make them proud by definitely putting on the show for sure.
What's your early scouting report on Trent Williams, left tackle for the 49ers?
Yeah, one of the greatest. I believe future Hall of Famer, obviously, and everything that he does. As we just seen last night, played a heck of a game, even while missing training camp. But he's a guy that I say about everybody else. They can still be beaten, no matter how good you are in this game. You can still be beaten. We're gonna draw up a game plan so we can attack them and do everything we can to make everybody on that team feel uncomfortable and try to continue to just be dominant and relentless. And whatever they throw at us on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm excited, man. I can't wait. It's gonna be a challenge that I'm always up for. You're gonna see a lot of us going to his side. I definitely will be going to that side as well. So I'm ready for it.
Monster start. Congrats on the first win, and good luck on Sunday, Jonathan. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, thanks, Jonathan.
All right, Jonathan Greenard. Man, he's
great.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he is great.
What a good dude.
Yeah. That was Jonathan
Like that
Greenard
guy.
on KFN. Thanks to Mesh, Besher, and Spin.